Take two. All right. Welcome to the Tough Luck Podcast. I'm Megan, and we'll go ahead and get started here. So, setting mug aside for now, and off to the races here. Okay, how is everybody? Hope you're doing well. As you can see, I'm not in my usual location, and there's no Lily next to me. Lily is taking the day off today, so we're going to do a solo podcast. I'm actually pretty excited. Haven't ever done a solo podcast, but this should be interesting. So, our topic for today is everyone's a nerd. And what is a nerd exactly? It's a person who is extremely enthusiastic and knowledgeable about a particular subject, according to the Oxford Dictionary. So, having said that, I've thought about this topic a lot because my husband and I often get into little tips about, oh, am I a nerd or not? And I've thought about this so many times. I'm like, yeah, I'm a nerd. I love yoga. And he always goes, no, you're not a nerd. You don't really like to the typical nerd stuff like playing D&D, which I do like that actually, so you could say I'm a nerd, but there's just certain things that he thinks is not considered nerd worthy in a way. And I find that interesting because I have a lot of passions and hobbies. I'm very into Vedic astrology and I love to explore avenues like that. And having had been in this industry for a little bit, the yoga industry, having that in my back pocket, it's been an eye-opening experience because people wouldn't traditionally see us as nerds, but we're really passionate about yoga. There's a reason why I'm doing it all the time. It's because I feel really good. It makes me feel awesome. And so that's my first example is Lily and I's passion for yoga. Something that wouldn't be so traditional, but would be something that would encourage people to explore their own bodies and get in tune to their bodies and their breath, as well as meditating every single day. And so, yeah, we're completely nerds in regards to that. And that's totally not a traditional means of exploring that nerdum, I suppose. So, getting into a little bit more of an example here. Neil deGrasse Tyson. Now, Neil deGrasse Tyson is an astrophysicist and has been trying to incorporate on his podcast how to make science a little bit more approachable. He has a comedian on his podcast. And so we notice here as we look at this individual who, yes, he's an astrophysicist, but his passion is actually in regards to helping others explore science in a way that's accessible to them. Not to say you need a college degree to understand astrophysics, but you may not fully understand certain aspects if you don't have studied that particular subject. So even though his degree and his information is from this astrophysics background, he's really into making it accessible for others as well. So, having said that, we have a lot of various types of nerds out there, some in regards to science, but one very, very famous nerd is Taylor Swift. Now, you may think she's the least nerdiest person there is out there. And I'd say, you are absolutely wrong, my friend. How on earth do you think she picked up the guitar when she was young and had written all these songs when she was young as well? She certainly had a lot of information in regards to how to start learning how to play music and had taken lessons for years. And she, yes, was some would say, a prodigy, but she had studied that for so long and had to have the interest to be able to back up that information. So, and especially the opportunities, it's really difficult to land it in the industry, but she had the passion and the business information to be able to combat all these various haters, etc., who said, no, you can't do that. Well, absolutely she could, and she did it. And she's still doing it to this day and is still being an amazing stardom. So, what does that mean for you? Well, you don't necessarily have to be a nerd in the right of, okay, I roll dice and I play D&D, and this now I sound like a D&D hater. I love D&D. This is something not a lot of people may know about me, but I am a big fan of D&D, and there is no shame in regards to D&D. I love it so much. But there's a lot of people out there who think that's like the only nerd that exists. Is like if you study, science, math, the traditional nerd stuff. But absolutely, we have a nerd in every single one of us. And there is something that you, the person watching this, is interested in to the point of complete knowledge that nobody else understands. For example, if you have a cat and that cat is your world and you have it plastered on every single wall of your house and have it every wall and place there is, then that's your nerdum. If you have a baby, for example, if you have a child or something, you have someone to look after all the time. Your passion kind of has to be that baby. And in a lot of various ways, you could say, okay, well, you kind of have to love your baby. But if it's not the baby, it's something else. You have some sort of passion within you. Everybody does. And therefore, everybody is kind of a nerd. And if you're not a nerd, well, maybe there's something that out there that you haven't discovered yet that you could be a nerd about. And in fact, I think it's a good thing to be a nerd. I think it's good to have passions and have exploration of various things that you really love. And there's so much out there to explore in this world. You're too young to be not be a nerd. Well, what I mean by too young is you only have so long in this lifetime to be something. And in this lifetime we are given only so much time. So be a nerd. Be a nerd for something that you love to explore, the passions that you create. And therefore, it progresses you further into your life, into what you love to do. And maybe that becomes a career, or maybe it doesn't become a career and you pursue it outside of your job. There's a lot of different avenues to take. So anyway, I have a couple of quotes here. Well, just one. So the quote starts with, nerd, one whose unbridled passion for something or things defines who they are as a person without the fear of other people's judgments. And that's by Zachary Levi or Levi. I'm not too sure. But in regards to this, you yourself, my friends, have a very specific niche that you love to do. And maybe not. Maybe you don't have a specific niche that you love to do, but there's something out there for you to discover and to become passionate. And so don't listen to other people who are haters towards that one thing you love. If you're young especially, I know when I was a kid, I got made fun of for a lot of the things that I was excited about just because I would get to the point of very, very excited and people thought that was weird. But, there is something out there for you. And this world, we need to have a lot of passions because that's where we have amazing inventions and creativity and exploration for. So something I wanted to leave you on today is passions give us the stars to look up to overcast days. That is not a quote. That was just me. That's just my thoughts. But when you look up at the stars and it's overcast and there's nothing to see, oftentimes this is what is the guiding light to keep you going. In the thick of all this, lifetime expansion, whatever, your intuition, the thing that gives you purpose, that gives you life, that gives you meaning, it's often kind of nerdy. It's often something, maybe not nerdy in the traditional sense, but it's something that you could go really deep into and get really obsessed with and really attached to. And yeah, not to say obsessed in a bad way. Certainly don't get obsessed with it, but yeah, get really into it. Get excited about that thing and explore it even further. So I'll leave you with this. If your passion just so happens to be yoga, you know where to go. Go to www.clairvoyanceyoga.com, sign up for the Yogasphere membership, and we have 4 new videos that just launched on May 1st. Today's May 1st. Tomorrow's May 2nd, so go ahead, sign up. It's not too late, never too late to sign up. So give us a shot, and you can try the monthly or yearly membership depending on how much yoga you like and how much you want to give it a shot for. So until next time, mwah! Bye everyone.